Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amy and I am the colorist here at Amy Ward Art, if you haven't gathered by the name. So June has finished and it's our favourite time of month with the completed pages. And full disclosure, June was a rough month for me. Not just with my physical health but also my mental health. I did not do well in June in terms of life and everything going on with me and my chronic conditions, and so there's not that many completed pages this month. I did do a little bit of colouring because it is one of my mental health wellness activities, but in terms of what I normally produce each month, we did not do a lot. There was a lot of bed rest, there was a lot of sleep, and there was just a lot of being really gentle on myself. So yeah, I have a few things to show you. I have a lot of work in progresses, but I have a few things to show you. Full disclosure as well, I know in my previous videos you've seen me with my really long, beautiful nails that I was really, really proud of, but I had some massive anxiety and I kind of bit off all my nails, so my nails are back to being really short and horrible, and I might have to invest in some fakes to help grow them out again, because that's what happens when I get a bit anxious. But yeah, I'm doing alright. I'm still a little under the weather. I'm still being very gentle on myself, so things may be a bit sporadic in July in terms of what I do for live streams and uploads, but at the end of the day, I've got to take care of myself. So for those of you that have stuck around, have watched the videos when I have uploaded them, or have been over at my live streams, a massive thank you. I know a lot of you have been really lovely about just coming and hanging out and chilling with me and understanding that, you know, some months are better than others, and June was a bit of a fragile month for me. But we carry on and we've got plenty of colouring to do. So let me take you to the overhead cam and I'll show you what I did manage to do in June. Alright, so I hope I've got everything. I didn't even update my completed pages tracker, so again, I've been so unwell and I fell very behind in how I normally do all these things, but also I just wanted to colour to feel okay. So a lot of what I normally do, like tracking of colours or recording, just all went out the window. We're just taking care of myself. But the first one that we will start off with is A Million Sweet Things by Lulu Mayo. So I completed actually 2 pages in here. The first one is this cute little clothing shop page. I did my usual technique of using Crayola Super Tips and using them as watercolor paints, so colouring with them onto a chopping board and then picking it up with some brush and water and putting it on the page. And I really wanted to go with like this sweet mint and pink theme. I wish I'd done a different colour down here, though it does tie in with the little touches of brown and yellow that I worked around in it. So it's not too bad. And then I added some Posca details as well. This is usually how I've been approaching a lot of Lulu Mayo's books at the moment, and I really like how it turned out. And then the other thing I did was I put a little bit of gel paint, glitter paint up here just on the awning. Because of the fact that the markers are water-based, it did kind of pick up and add some texture to the awning, but I actually don't mind it because it kind of looks like the folds of the fabric, so it's okay. And you know, this would be like age-worn and stuff, so I don't mind if that has a little bit of discoloration with how cute this one turned out. And unfortunately this one I used way too much water on, so it did bleed for a lot, so we've got a lot of cleanup to do on that page, but that's future Amy's problem. And then the other one that I did in here is a buddy colour that I did with Colouring Bumblebee, who is a regular buddy colour friend of mine. We tend to do 1 page a month together, and we have for so many months. Now I am waiting on confirmation that she has finished hers at the time of recording, but I know she's very, very close, so if she has finished, I will add in her page here as well. But we did this origami seascape page. And let me tell you, this page caused me no end of grief this month. So we started out at the start of the month messaging like we do and figuring out what we were going to work in this month, and she had seen my video when I talked about my plans and how I wanted to work in here but didn't know which one I wanted to work on. I was like, absolutely, and she suggested this page, which I was completely down for because, you know, I was starting to work in here. And then, because I was having a bit of a bad night, I had some wines, and in my wine state, I decided that it'd be a great idea to chuck purple watercolour over the whole page. I mean, everywhere. And then I woke up the next morning, I was like, why did you do that, Amy? Why did you do that? So, mistake number one. I was like, okay, so I started by colouring in some of the creatures on this page, and you can still see like the watercolour texture underneath. Now I'm kind of imagining it's like sea spray or something that's affecting them because the pencils were not opaque enough to cover that up. I probably should have used something like Prismacolor. I was like, okay, we'll work with it. So I did that, and then it came time to start on the water. And I was like, well, I don't really want to sit here and do it with all the pencils. I know I need to cover up that purple and that texture, so let me pull out the gouache acrylic paints. And I have some photos of each of these stages because I was sending them through to Colouring Bumblebee as I worked on it and being like, oh my god, look what I've done now, look what I've done now. So I finished doing the gouache acrylic paints on here, and I was like, I actually think I've managed to save the water. Like, it's looking okay. But of course it's me, and it's like, of course I'm going to glitter it. Like, I have to glitter it. So I pulled out the gel glitter paints that I have, and I started painting it. And of course I used gouache, and silly me forgot that gouache reactivates when it gets additional water put on it, which is what the gel glitter paints are based. They're water based. So, of course, the gouache reactivated, which started smushing, and my clean blends all got smushed together. And then I was just like, oh, God, I've ruined it again. So, the next step was then to pull out the Poscas and try and clean up some of the edges and define it. And by this stage, I was just like, this page is going to be whatever. Let's just get through it. So, I just pushed out to colour in the actual paper and pulled out some gel metallic and glitter pens and a couple of Poscas and just kind of did some random colours on the rest of the page. Am I in love with it? No. I admit this is not my favourite page in the entire world, and I would love to have redone it because I'm not happy with how it turned out, but I finished it, and that's the main thing. Like, yeah, a lot of lessons learned, a lot of mistakes made, but we finished it. Yeah, I have no doubts Colouring Bumblebee's page is a million times nicer, but that happens. And it's not a competition at all, you know, and at the end of the day we did it. So yeah, so that was my journey in A Million Sweet Things by Lulu Mayo. Keeping with Lulu Mayo, we also have A Million Sea Creatures. Now this one I did one page in here, and that was this a lighthouse page, and I went back to familiar techniques with this one using the Crayola super tip markers as the watercolors, and again, love how this looks, especially on this paper. It just works so well on this paper, this technique. And then I used Poscas again for like the drops and the highlights, and then the light rays are outlined in different color Poscas. And then that same glitter gel that I used on the water on the A Million Sweet Things page, I used just on the pattern of the whale. I did debate whether or not I was going to color it in, but there's so much beautiful detail here, and I didn't want to bring like the color to color it in. I wanted your focus to be on this beautiful pattern, so I just actually went over it with glitter. I didn't even color anything in. I just applied the glitter gel paint, so it's got a little touch of blue from the glitter, but it's just straight gel paint. The only thing that I think I want to do is I want to colour in around here, because that'll really make this pop and make the white pop. So I think I want to buy like a matte red paint and just paint around here, or maybe like a navy blue. I feel like black's going to be too much, but maybe like a nice navy blue or something. I just need it to be really matte. I think I have some matte medium that I can add to acrylic paint, so I should do that so that it doesn't get the shine and we get a nice flat matte surface, and then this will really pop as well. But yeah, that's what I did in A Million Sea Creatures. So I did manage to do one in Luna, somewhere in here. I haven't bookmarked anything. Here it is. So this one I started colouring the flowers, funnily enough, backstage at a production that I was doing a door check-in for all the actors and cast and crew. I basically had a lot of downtime where I could sit there, but being backstage, the light was like this bright blue, well, not bright blue, it was like a dull blue, but it was a blue light because it shows up less on stage than your traditional yellow light. So I had like a little desk with a little light, and I could colour by it, but of course it was blue light, so I had no idea how things were looking. So I was actually viewing this almost like a challenge, where I was colouring this in blue light and having to trust my gut instinct on the colours I chose. Which was really fun, especially when I walked out and realised that I'd actually managed to choose really nice colours, and I really liked how it turned out. But then I had all this background space, and I didn't want to pull out pencils or do it, so I have another type of acrylic glitter paints that I brought a while ago that I hadn't used yet, so I just decided to use it. As you can see, it's just like yellow with glitter flecks in it. It's a little shiny, and like you can see all the brush strokes in that, so it's not the greatest of paints, but it was my first time trying it, and I like the little pop of colour and the glitter that it adds to the page. Yeah, it would probably look better on a page with a more brightly coloured in flower situation. This is a very intense yellow background, but it does also pop quite nicely against the purple cat that I had also done previously. So yeah, quite a simple page, but quite nice to have done and complete. So I actually ended up doing a bunch of sketching this month as well. I'm just going to quickly flick through these. A lot of these are just like quick doodles and stuff, because I was also involved in a bunch of RPG streams that I had to kind of push for this month. It's been Kiwi RPG Week here in New Zealand, where we celebrate Aotearoa roleplay games and creators and media and stuff, and I am very heavily involved in the RPG community here in New Zealand, so I was a guest on a number of streams and had a bunch to do with that, and so I was drawing little doodles of all the different characters we were playing for one-shots for like marketing and stuff like that. So this one is from the Zombie D12 Go game that I played, which you can watch on Samsara Dusty's channel, which I will link down below. Adore her, wonderful, wonderful friend, so much fun. So I played Stacy, the cheerleader, in a zombie apocalypse. This was so good. It was called Stay Dead, Damn It. We had so much fun. A little sketch for another project that I'm in for another character that I'm playing. So talk about her in the future. And then this one is still ongoing. This is the Swords and Stuff D12 Go module. So this is Cascade, the character I'm playing. She's like a squid mermaid character. We also have Magnus Bella, who's played by Severin, who's like a farm inventor, beefy boy. We have Kale, who is played by Caius, who is a fox celestial galaxy type rogue. Very moon inspired they are. And then we have Lyndon's character Mordecai, who was an accountant who now wants to be a monster slayer and has a fear of accounting. I love Lyndon's character, it's so good. So yeah, that was just the quick sketches for the different media posts that we did for it. And then I was also on Fate of Ison, so I was, which is a Kiwi podcast and live play show that I do moderation for, and because I was Kiwi RPG Week, they did a stream every day, and on one of the streams, I was there designing new NPCs with them, or new characters for this world. So one of the ones that we came up with was they are heading towards a water scene, so we needed some sort of water merm creature, and one of the players continually turns into a crab, so the joke was made about like a merm crab, and so we came up with this crab creature, who has been called by the chat Gloria Crustacean, which just cracks me up so much, and I love how this one turned out. This is really cool. And then there's a thing about pigs and horses in this world that are combined and are like the cart pullers and stuff. So a joke was made about flying pigs, and so they're called pjorks or pig hawks. And also they have little curly tails on each of their feathers. So that was just like a quick little sketch as well of a flying pig in this world as well. So yeah, that was really fun. I think that was everything I kind of sketched for these things. So little detour, but it's been really fun to sketch again, and it's been a while since I've done a lot of sketching, so it's not quite at the level that I used to be. If you see some of my old art videos on this channel, I used to do a lot more realism. I'm still building up my hand and my technique again, but I also really enjoy the more cartoony approach that I've kind of developed, so yeah, it's a lot of fun. So back to the actual colouring. We apparently did one in Fledging Fairies, Leaf Rider, which is this one here. I think this is acrylic inks by the look of it. Yeah, I'd say it's acrylic inks with pencils, Posca, glitter glue. But yeah, this one was right at the start of the month, and I don't remember a lot about it because I was pretty ill. But I just really wanted to colour. I do remember I was really playing with like red on one side and yellow on the other, like two different light sources, which I really love how it turned out, and also the transparency of this top. I love that. I think if I was to go back, I would also add in some highlights on her hair, because her hair probably needs some sharper highlights, especially with the sharp highlights on the clothes, which I seem to have not done. But other than that, I really love how this one turned out. And we are very close to finishing Fledging Fairies. I think I only have like 8 or so pages left in this one. This is my most coloured in colouring book, technically. Alright. Ugh. Bad Girls. Apparently I did something in here. This is from the start of the month as well. Let me flick through. I don't even remember. Oh, yes, I do remember this one. Midnight Spell. Yeah, so I think I was in a bit of a, like, mood this month. A lot of my pages, I only worked in pencil, and that's not normal for me. Normally I base in, like, a medium to cover up as much of the page as quickly as possible, and then I'll go in and add the pencil on top for shading. But there's a number of pages I worked in just solid pencil this month, which is very different for me, but I guess that was the mood I was in. And I know it's nowhere near Halloween or anything like that, but I just really wanted to colour her in and make her really pale with the red sky and the moon and the pumpkins, and just play around with like a real orangey colour scheme as well. So I do remember that. And there is no glitter on this page. Can you believe it? Did I? No, I lie. There is glitter. I pulled out glitter gel pens. So there's a subtle glitter to the moon, the star on the hat, and the moon on her head. But it's very subtle for me. It's not my stickles. And this one is Midnight Spell by J.M. Liotti from Bad Girls Special from Colouring Heaven. Yeah, I haven't coloured in any of their work before, so that was really fun. Right, The Kingdom of Curious Creatures by Kanako Egusa. this is the first page that I have done by Kanako Egusa. This one is a time-lapse on the channel as well. This one I was trying to do so I'd at least do have some content. I don't think at the time of recording this I've put up the final part of this one, so only because I hadn't had the energy to go and take a photo of the final. So I should probably do that while I got the book out today and get that part 3 out. But this is how it turned out, and it's super, super cute. Again, just Faber-Castell Polychromos. I was just in a mood this month for working with the Faber-Castell Polychromos. There's not even any Posca or stickles or anything else on this page. It is literally just pencil, which is so odd for me, but also I really, really like it. So it's very pastel and pale for me, because I normally do very vibrant, intense colours, but I just love it. I really love how it turned out. It's so sweet, and I really love this book. So do plan on trying to do a couple more in here this month. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, I think the rest of these are mostly all work in progresses. So I started one in Nature Mandalas. This one is actually a colouring prompt challenge. I have a little messenger group that I chat with a bunch of people in who are all colourists, and we just kind of keep each other on our toes about colouring and share different bits. They're all based over in the UK area, so it's a bit odd with me being in the opposite time zone. So they all chat overnight when I'm asleep, and then I wake up to like 50 messages. But I really enjoy chatting with them when I'm up to it, and if I'm up late or they're up late, you know, we can have a little conversation and we share lots of different colouring things and stuff like that. But also we've started doing some challenges. So that lighthouse piece from A Million Sea Creatures was actually a prompt put forward in this colouring channel. And then one that we're working on that's actually due tomorrow, so I don't think I'm going to finish it in time, but I'll try, is a summer page, because of course it's summer for them over there. I was like, I'll colour a summer page, that's all good. So I pulled out Nature Mandalas, which I haven't actually worked in yet either, so this is another new page. Now this one's still a work in progress, so we've still got a bit of work to go. It is primarily coloured pencils again. There's no basing with watercolour mediums or inks or markers or anything. So far I have done polychromos pencils for all like the flowers and the water, and then the dragonflies. And I actually fully based the dragonflies' wings with a pale purple and yellow and pink and blue, which you might just be able to see because after that I went through over the wing pattern in white Posca, so underneath you can still see there is a little bit of colour detail in the wings, and then I added in a rainbow stickles glitter glue to give the illusion of like really beautiful sparkly opalescent wings. And I love how the dragonflies have turned out. I love, love, love how the dragonflies have turned out. I forget with coloured pencil it gets shine, so I kind of need to hold it like this. So yeah, I've still got these little dragonfly wings to do, and then I've still got the koi fish and the centre of the flowers and some finishing details and stuff to do. So there's a little bit of work. If I can push myself to finish it tonight, I may just make the deadline, but maybe not. Then again, they are based in the UK, so their Sunday is my Monday, so I technically have an extra day that I didn't realise I had, so yay! So that's Nature's Mandalas by Melpomeni, Chatzipanagiotou. I every time I need to find and write down the phonetic pronunciation. Alright, let's leave Kerby till last. So I have another work in progress, and I've got, that's okay, it comes off. I'll clean that up later. It's just like I've got marks on the cover. I don't know what that will be from. So I have a work in progress in the Vox Machina Critical Role colouring book. I've had this book for a couple months and I've been too scared to work in it because It's just so beautiful, and I love Critical Role. But I finally broke it. I finally broke into it by starting on this one. So again, this is not completed. This is a work in progress. I have a couple of things that went wrong with this page because colouring with a fever. So most of Keyfish in the rocks is done. I have to figure out the eyes. I hate the eyes. They look like soulless voids. So I need to recolor the eyes, and I've got like inside the mouth details and a little bits of fish details and highlights to do on that. And then I've still got to go over the crystals with a white Posca to really make the crystal pop out. But I really liked how I did the ocean. This is all just marker that I went over with glitter gel paint. Unfortunately, it caused the marker to bleed quite significantly. So not only do I have like a little bit of blue edge down the side here, which is fine because that's the center of the spine. You're not really going to see that too much. I should be able to work over that. And then we've also got bleed through on this page that I have to figure out when I color in that page. And then I don't know how it got caught, but it got caught, and I've also got a little tear down the bottom here. It's been a time with this page, so yeah, I wasn't well enough to figure it out and clean it up and fix it up, so I just was like meh, and didn't come back to it. So there's a lot of work to do in terms of finishing and fixing this page up. So hopefully this month we'll finish off this one. Then we have Alien Worlds, which we all know I love this book, and in particular the Crystal Kingdom. So I finished off this massive double page spread this month. I love how this one turned out. This is so cool. And it was inspired by the first page that I did in here, which is this one. I'm trying to make each planet feel like its own color scheme. So the crystal planet is like pinks and purples. So pink skies, purple land, and trying to keep the elements similar across both. So we've got like blue trees, green, teal crystals, and then making other things like pop out or tie in together. And then I've also introduced some like grapey purple growths in here too, so it's a mixture of like the teal and the grapey crystals. My lights are struggling with this because it's so glittery. I did unfortunately apply the glitter too heavy on this page, so maybe this is more of like a night scene with a lot of stars in the sky compared to this one. However, the cool thing is if you look at the perspective here of this mushroom and the little spaceman, it gives you an idea of the size of scale, because this is that same spaceman much closer up. So yeah, that gives you a sense of the scale of these guys, and it's like each page gets in closer and closer, which I love, because you start off with like this wide panned out view of the crystal planet in space, this big landscape shot where we see this guy and the mushroom, and keep the mushroom in mind because then we have this one. So this is like medium sized, and then we go in closer to here, and we will come back to this one in a second, because from there we zoom in even closer to inside one of the crystals where you can see like the little growth, and then we have another big zoom out again of the whole world. So I love that concept of each one is a closer look in and in and in. But yeah, so this is the other one that I started on this month. So this was for my Wheel of Prompts challenge, where I draw 3 random words and work them together into a concept or story, or for a colouring page. So the prompts this month were alien, playful, and dog, and to me this screamed out as a playful alien dog, so I knew I had to do this page. So literally all that's left to do is the crystals on the back, and to finish off the crystals of the tree and the underneath of the mushroom, and then glitter the sky. So basically just across here needs doing, which it's a shame I didn't quite get there, but I just didn't get there. Again, very ill this month, needed that break time. So yeah, we'll try and finish this off next month in July, and hopefully finish off this one too, because then it'll be 4 pages done in here. And yes, it's all the Crystal Kingdom. I don't mean to do the Crystal Kingdom first, but I love the Crystal Kingdom in here, so yeah. And then we have Mythomorphia. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I have a goal in 2023 to complete Mythomorphia. And in order to do that, I need to do 6.3 pages per month. And I'm actually needing to really do a little bit more than that. I think I'm behind. I might need to sit down and actually do a bit of calculations to see where I'm at and how far off I am off the goal in terms of how many I've got to complete each month. Because June, full disclosure, did not complete enough pages. Barely completed anything in here. So, we'll leave the completed page till last and I'll show you the work in progresses. So, the first work in progress is this page here. The school page. So this again was for my Wheel of Prompts challenge. I didn't complete either of the 2 pages I started for it. So this was again alien, and then puppy or dog, and then playful. I went with the concept of you don't want to play with these guys. You know, this is like don't play with these guys. So a little different to the other one where it was more happy playful. This is spooky playful, which was really fun. But yeah, I did not get anywhere near completing this one, unfortunately. I did get the sky glittered. I love the glittery sky, but I want to do like a lot of darkness in the trees and stuff like that, make it real spooky and creepy, and then I was going to have like the alien glowing and stuff. Yeah, we just didn't get there. So hopefully we'll get that one finished this month, and then there's an existing work in progress in here that I didn't even touch this month, which is the siren page. I have to remember where it is. I thought it was towards the back here. Oh my gosh. My book is also falling apart, as you can tell. There it is. I knew it was towards the back. So we have this page that I started in May. That I was going to try and carry on with. There's a lot of cleanup and stuff on here. I didn't even touch this one this month. I did not even get to it. So yeah, that's another work in progress in here that I need to carry on with. And then this month I also had a prompt challenge called Center of the Sphinx, which was celebrating the halfway point of the year, the halfway point of me being in this challenge. And because I had already done the halfway pages of the book, which are these 2 dragons, I was like, let's do the 2 pages surrounding it, which happened to be a centaur and a sphinx, so Center of the Sphinx. As you can see, I didn't even get to the sphinx. I didn't even start the sphinx. Yeah. So if you're keeping track, so far that is 0 completed pages. I did manage to complete 2 pages in here. Which is our centaur page, and I love this page. I love how this one turned out. This is actually quite a simple one as well. So yeah, this centaur kind of looked like a bit of a star sign or something to me. This is actually a time lapse on the channel as well. But yeah, basically I just used my acrylic inks after gessoing the page, laid down a bunch of them and created like this galaxy sky background, and then for all the line work that Kerby had drawn on the page, I just went over it with a white Posca and then added a bunch of stars in the sky to really add to that glitter, the galaxy sky effect, and then also just added in a thin layer of glitter glue so it also sparkles. And such a simple concept, but so beautiful and so effective. And I may end up doing this again with another page because I just really love how it turned out as well. But yeah, that is literally everything I did in Mythomorphia this month, which is very, very far off the 6.3 pages I need to do. So I probably should sit down and work out how far behind I am and how many I need to start tuning out to really meet this goal by the end of the year, because there's still quite a bit to go in Mythomorphia. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed seeing the completed pages that I did manage and all the work in progresses that I didn't manage to finish. I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. And yeah, let me know what is your favourite one down below, and hopefully this month I'll be a little bit more onto it in terms of recording and being back active here. But if I am a bit on the quieter side here on YouTube, I hope you can understand why. Just a reminder to all of you out there, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to take a break, to step away, to detach from social media, to just take care of yourself for a while. Make sure that you have a good drink of water, take your meds, and also love yourself so much, because you deserve it. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!